All right. So last year I got into rock climbing out at the Mississippi Palisades. And to be honest, it was actually really fun. And I didn't need as many things as I thought I needed. Like to start off rock climbing, all you really need are shoes. But it really helps to have like a boulder mat, and it's basically like a little backpack thing that is a pad, and you kind of like throw it down right beneath where you're climbing. Now, when you're bouldering, you're not going to go like much higher than like 15 feet off the ground. So the boulder mat's really there to like break your fall, right? So you don't jam your foot, you don't hurt yourself if you fall to the side. A lot of people have someone go with them to spot them when they boulder, although it's not like entirely necessary. You just have to be more careful. But I definitely recommend bouldering first, because although I do like stuff like rope soloing, in other words, I set up a rope and I'll climb like tall stuff by myself. But to do that, it's not so much fun, right? If you're still getting strong and then you get like halfway up and you're out of energy and then you have to go down, and it can be really just frustrating in general if you're not like in shape or in the right headspace or have the right technique down. It's definitely okay to take your time with bouldering, figuring stuff out. I think it makes rock climbing more enjoyable, like on a rope. Plus, honestly, just having like enough strength and stamina to rock climb is super important. So doing stuff like pull-ups, also running, a lot of rock climbing is in your legs, and once you actually get shoes for rock climbing, like actual shoes for rock climbing, it makes it so much easier to progress. Like without the right shoes, you're really handicapping yourself. Maybe unless you're climbing barefoot, even then it can be rather difficult to climb barefoot. People do it, but I definitely recommend getting climbing shoes first. And they're like maybe $100 or so. And then you can start rock climbing outside and look at a thing called Mountain Project. They have an app. I believe they also have a website, and it shows like places that you can actually go climbing around you in your area. And it'll rate the climbs, and it'll basically say, hey, you can go climbing here for free. And it's just, I like outdoor climbing because it's real rock. It's nice to just get outside. A lot of gyms also have a lot of rules which can keep you safe and are important, but it's also fun just to get out in the woods. In addition to climbing shoes, like actual climbing shoes, like real climbing shoes, not like sneakers, not like shoes you use for climbing, like real climbing shoes. It is also advisable to get chalk, like a chalk bag, a chalk ball. I mean, heck, even if you just use chalk on your hands, it really helps you stick to the cliff better. And you'll find that you can grip onto things a lot easier just if you have chalk, versus if you don't have chalk, it can make it really difficult, like especially once your hands get sweaty, like in the summer. Also, there are different kinds of rock. Some kinds of rock, it's not advisable to go climbing on them if it's rained. So it's good to look up the type of rock and then research if it is safe to go rock climbing on it after it's rained, right? Like stuff like limestone or sandstone typically is not safe. Like the rock's weaker, it can crack and crumble and wear, and then you're just kind of destroying climbs. But stuff like granite and quartzite, sometimes, from my understanding, it's not as bad to climb on it in the rain, but guess what? Wet rock is still slippery. Something that grows on rock is like lichen and algae and different kinds of moss, and those get insanely slippery when wet. So it's kind of like knowing where you're going, knowing the rock, knowing the conditions. Honestly, if it's something like limestone or sandstone, it's good to give it like a day or two after it rained just to dry out. That way it's not like super weak and crumbly. Like, you don't want your handholds to pull out on you when you're halfway up a climb. That is horrifying. Anyway, that is my spiel on rock climbing stuff. You know, just like my perspective. I hope to make like an actual video when I'm out rock climbing. And as you can see, my eyes are all over the place. Like, I need a coffee. I kind of low key slept like 3 hours last night because I was like watching documentaries on a cult, and it was so interesting. I love psychology. I want to make some videos, but I will probably make some more videos on rock climbing and just like tips from just a beginner to kind of get you into it if you're interested. I can also like talk about different exercises that I find helpful. I'm not like a pro. One thing too, if you're gonna rock climb or climb, warm up. Like warming up, doing dynamic warm up stuff like these, these, it can literally prevent damage. And oh, I'm getting my tooth back like next month. Long story. I might cover it. It's really not that exciting how I lost it. It's something really freaking stupid when I was younger. It got infected, blah, 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 blah. I'm getting it back in like a month. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing missing a front tooth. Don't lose a tooth to something stupid when you're young, but also being young and not stupid. Well, that's kind of a challenge. Anyway, have a good one, people, and, you know, maybe do something you like or just relax for a bit today. Who knows? Try to make it enjoyable. Anyway, see ya.